Hey loves, welcome again to my channel. My name is Matilda, and in today's video I'll be making an updated video of the basic shorts pattern. This tutorial is the most basic of pattern making for beginners. It does not include ease and seam allowances. Add this when making the real product. Make this pattern and use it to create your own product faster and easier. Without wasting much time, let's get into the video. So I have my waistline here, and I drew this line here as a guideline. You can choose not to draw it, okay? After drawing this waistline, the next thing I will do is to get my crotch depth. So I will divide my hip measurement by 4, okay? I am using 36 as the hip measurement, so I had 9 inches. This short is not mine, so whatever measurement you have, just divide it by 4. I will then go ahead and mark the length of this shorts, which is 15 inches, and connect this point into a straight lines. I will label here the crotch depth, and this place is the length of this pants. Now to get the hip depth line, I will go up from the crotch depth by 2 inches and mark it to make a straight line. The next thing I will do is to divide the hip by 4 and mark it. I had 9 inches and do the same thing on the waistline as well. I will connect this point into a straight line. The next thing I will do is to go in by half of an inch. From that half point, I will measure quarter of my waist measurement. That will give me 6.5 plus 1 inch for that. After that, I will connect it all the way to the hip depth, just like this. And here becomes our hip depth. Now on the hip line, I will divide what I have from here into 4, which is 2 1/4, and mark it here. After, I will connect this point with my curved ruler and connect to the half inch I went inward on the waistline. On the crotch depth, I will come down by 2 inches for the tie line, okay? You can go down by 2 inches or 3 inches, whatever measurement you prefer. I will connect this to make a straight line and then label it the tie. Now the next thing I will do is, if you want a free pant, mark whatever measurement you have on the crotch depth and transfer it to the length. But if not, you will go ahead and minus 1 inch from that measurement you have on the crotch depth, okay? And I am just going to connect it like this. Now if you want something fitted, you will go in by 1 inch on this side and connect it to the hip, but me, I am going in for a free pant. Now the next thing I will do is mark the waistband by 1.5 inch, and I will do the same thing for the other side as well, and connect it to form a straight line. I will go ahead to mark whatever measurement I have here, which is 7 inches, and divide it into 2, which is 3.5. Connect it all the way to the hip depth line. After that, I will go ahead to mark half inch on both sides, and I will come down by 3 inches and connect the lines like this. Then I will go ahead and connect the line to the length of this pant. I will then go ahead to cut out these front patterns. Okay, so do the same thing and watch carefully where I am cutting. So this is all for the front pattern. Let's go ahead to cut out the back pattern. So this is all for the front pattern. Let's go ahead to cut out the back pattern. So I have put my front pattern on a different paper, and this paper tape here is to secure the papers. Okay, so now the next thing I will do is to come here and extend 1.5 inches like this and go down by 3/4. Now on the waistline, I will measure what I have here, which is 3 inches, and divide it by 2, which is 1.5, and mark it on that line. From that point, I will go up by 2 inches and connect it all the way to the waistline, like you see me doing. I will go ahead now and measure quarter of the waist measurement on this new line here, which is 7 inches, and mark it. And I will just connect the line to meet the 7 inches like that. The next thing I will do is to measure whatever I have here. I have 1 inches. I will add half inch, which will give me 1.5, and I will connect it up all the way to the 2 inches. I went up like this. And I will use my curved ruler to connect it. Make sure you take your time and connect it very nicely. The next thing I will go ahead to do is to connect this point, as you can see, and so now I will connect this point to the hip. Forget about the first one that I did, it was a mistake. So on the points on the waist, just mark it to the hip line. And this part here is the same as the front, so I will cut out the back pieces. That is all for the back pieces. Okay, now I am going to create our back dart. Measure the waist and divide it by 2 like we did for the front, and rule a line down. I will mark 4 inches for the dart depth. Remember, for the front we went down by 3 inches, but for the back I will come down by 4 inches. I will mark half inch on both sides and connect the lines like this. Here are the patterns, okay, both front and back, and you can see the difference between the front and the back piece. Okay, so this is the end of today's video. Let me know what you think about this tutorial. If it was helpful, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, like, share, comment, and press on the notification bell so that anytime I post a video you'll be notified. I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.